man. Pardon me, as I come back. As I did it, I had to beg your pardon. When I travel through the turn, I roll with the squadron. Row, like a dungeon dragon. Take a little torch cause the pants are sagging. Try to test the bitch, I will put you in a turban. And have it smelling right, make the bone scale urine. Chuckity choco, the chocolate chicken. The rear got diesel, but chicks they were kicking. Yo, bust it out for the buster, down the round, the rhythm and stick. Around the old town, you bring up the sound just like other to yo. Observe the vibe and check out the scenario. Yeah, my man, yo. What's the scenario? Here we go, yo. Here we go, yo. What's the scenario? Here we go, yo. Here we go, yo. So what's the scenario? Here we go, yo. Here we go, yo. So what's the scenario?
Hello, hello, micro data refiners. This is the last Severance Sunday of season 2. And what a season finale that was! It was dang near movie length. This is going to be a spoiler filled review. We're going to give you all the things you may have missed and little Easter eggs that you may or may not have noticed. So if you have not seen this episode, make sure you go ahead and save this and come back to it because we're going to talk about everything. Good, bad, ugly, what you enjoyed, what you didn't, and your last minute theories. But you all know that I am not here alone. Charles, come up here because we decided to give y'all our best NPR wear today just to celebrate Severance. How did you feel about the season finale?
This is the best. Feel like you taking shots at me, but it's a dope episode. It's a dope episode. You wilding with this right here though.
Okay, y'all know how I do. Y'all know. I think the last time I what did I do? Last time I probably dressed up was what for Squid Game, and me and C had on our green. So and y'all know me. I've been dressing up doing cosplay since the beginning. So I said, you know what? This would be the perfect time. Even got my little work badge here for one of my past jobs when I taught online. Well, I still got the work badge. I don't know, but I still got it. If you all are just now joining us, make sure you give us a thumbs up, turn on your notification bell, and if you are not subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. Help us reach our goal of getting to 2K on YouTube. And again, we are about to spoil this whole episode. Season finale. This was 10 episodes. And most shows these days don't even want to give us 10 episodes. So I'm really, really glad they did and gave us a little extra in the season finale. Did you feel like this was a solid season finale?
Yeah, it was dope. It gave us a lot of answers. All the answers. We got another questions though. Still.
Exactly. I always say that. I said Severance does a good job of giving you some answers and then also giving you some questions at the same time. That's how I felt. I'm like, okay, they told us a lot. We did really get a lot of what we needed. And then by the end, it's just like, now I need to know a couple more things. Now I have some more questions to back that up with the new information that they gave us. But y'all, let's jump right into it. We start off right where we ended in episode 9 with them in the birthing cabins,
Yeah.
and them bringing Mark S in to see if he remembered the last time that he saw Devin and what he told them. And so they kind of had to break it down and catch him up to speed, like let you know what's going on. Like, hey, listen, we got you out here because Cold Harbor is it done? Because if it's not done, you about to complete it. And when they complete it, that's gonna be the last that we see of Gemma / Miss Casey and all 24, 25 of her. Everybody gone after this. So we need your help just a little bit. And not only do we need your help, we gonna have some messages from your Audi. And Mark S is just looking dazed and confused. Like he just I don't know what's going on and what are you all talking about? Like it's just, and I can see why he would be distrustworthy because if the last time you was at work and then the next time you in the cabin with your Audi sister and Miss Cobell, I would be a little confused too.
Yeah, it was an odd situation, but his reaction, I guess, is normal. But for me, it was kind of a conflict of the story because I'm like, you've been working along with your alley, subtly in subtle ways to get to the bottom of things. And now you're in a situation where you're, getting to the bottom of things. Like, relax. Like, you know what I'm saying? He was very jumpy for me. But I don't know. He was very defensive, like just being there, like prior to knowing the plan or anything. I don't know. It was a weird response, I guess. But he also didn't trust Miss Cobell, so seeing
Um,
her there for like, 'cause, Mark was, was already like, man, he already didn't trust her, and then Mark S doesn't trust her. So yeah, I get it, but I don't know. He kind of was pissing me off. I'm like, chill out and listen, dude.
yeah, absolutely. Um, but paranoid in a good way because I mean, think about it. They have no real lives outside of work, and so if when you wake up, you would expect to be
At work.
at work, and so you
Yeah,
wake up in a place and you're like, why? What am I doing here? And really, what's going on? But he should be happy that they're actually trying to tell him what's going on
yeah,
in this moment. And so they're like, you know what? You don't have to just take it from us. We want you to have your own conversation with your Audi. And whatever we can't answer, hopefully he will answer for you. And I call this really good cinematography because, again, they help to tell the stories through the way that they use their direction and camera work. And they literally had Audi Mark outside recording and any Mark on the inside. And you can see the shadows of the fireplace and like Cobell and Devin in the background. And then you can see, like from, the light of the moon with Mark being on the outside and then, going back to record. And they switched up how they played off the conversation. So in the beginning, it was like we're watching them record. And as the conversation progressed, it was just telling the stories through the way the colors changed and their tone. So shout out to the actors for this, for
yeah,
being able to give us another tone and mannerisms and personality for the same person, but an extension of who they are into the innie and outie. So, I always give my shout out to the actress that plays Helly R, but your boy Mark did a good job too.
yeah. He did a good job in the strangest conversation of all times. I like how they did it though, but I mean, they made it come full circle because like when you're any at work, the first thing you do is see a video of yourself or whatnot, explaining like why you're there on the seventh floor and what you're doing, and then to have him be able to like exchange those messages pretty much instantly, which is pretty much a conversation. There's a slight delay, I guess, but other than the slight delay, they're pretty much having a straight on conversation. And it is crazy that it was the same actor, kind of sort of playing the same character, but from two different perspectives. It was wild. I dig that. There's a weird inception to that. But the conversation itself, again, was ticking me off because I'm like, bruh, I and I understand any Mark because it's like, yeah, y'all kind of asking me to commit genocide in a way. Because if we get rid of the entire severed floor, every severed person is gone from then on. And then his thing with Helly, which is like that's the most like impractical aspect to me though, because she's an Egan on the outside. So it's like, bro, that's dead, bro. Like,
Yeah, and I get it. He was upset, but then think about it. Mark S. You've only been alive for like 2 years. That's really not your body. This really
two
belongs to
years.
Mark. Like that's not your life.
It's
This life
not.
belongs to your Audi at the end of the day. The life belongs to your Audi. And he only created you out of grief. And he's telling you that, hey, the person I was grieving over is not gone. She's still there. You even seen her. You know she's alive. This has to happen to get her back. But think about. I feel like Mark S is in his teen rebellion era, so
Yeah.
he's not thinking logically. He just the innies at this point have had enough of their outies, and they just in the rebellious stage right, right at this point.
I mean, it's understandable. It's understandable because what Helly said, she was like, they give them a little piece of life and then expect them not to fight for it. It's like she kind of got a point, man. Like it kind of got a point.
Mm-hmm.
It's wholesale irrational because that ain't your body. But that's
Exactly.
kind of also the any Mark's point with the convergence thing because it's like, won't it be way more you than me? You know what I'm saying? Technically speaking, it would be.
I mean, you know, life's not fair. And I think Mark is kind of knew that, like I could be pretty much erased. Like this is gonna be it for me. But even his any you're trying to make a decision, but you don't have all the information. Like they have nothing planned out. Like how will this work for you? They live a whole life as an any. He don't know. He's just trying to be rebellious. You don't even have all the information for this to completely make sense. You just don't want your existence erased, and that's where
Yeah,
it stops. But how your existence actually maintains, he doesn't even know how that's supposed to work.
yeah, he doesn't. But I mean, that's the irrational nature of wanting to survive.
And the ethics that nobody considered when they thought about this severance procedure.
Not at all. But also, when they finish Cold Harbor, were they gonna fire everybody anyway?
I I don't know if they're gonna fire everybody or switch task up or like what was the next step in the process of or
Yeah,
just like get it or sever them into a whole bunch of different other people since we know we can split be like we're done with that version of you, then we're gonna need another for this next task. When there's no ethics and informed consent involved, they can pretty much do whatever they please. And James is not one for actually caring about people and their lives and doing what's right. He is just very selfish and an evil genius in a way. Like, I get the concept is kind of brilliant of trying to splice people's mind to erase their trauma, but you're technically not erasing their trauma, you're just placing it on somebody else. And for
yeah,
him to go and tell his own daughters, I don't even like my own daughter, that's wild. But we knew that anyway. We knew you didn't like that girl. We already saw that at this point. And
yeah,
where are the rest of your children,
yeah.
James?
You remember when the she said when Miss Cobell went to the birthing cabins and said it was one of his. You know what I'm saying? I felt then like, oh, dude just got babies out there from severed women. Oh my god.
It's just so much wrong in that. Because where are they? I mean, I want to know, are they still alive? Or when you found out you didn't like them, you did away with them? Or are some of them at Lumen working?
Ain't no telling. Ain't no telling. And but this whole he didn't see Kier in them. It's like, bro, what the hell? What? Like, this dude is really bitten into the cult or whatever they got going on, and
Oh,
but he
he's deep in
sees
it.
it in Helly. So like, what is he talking about? Like a rebellious streak or what?
Like
What
in
does
the game,
Heliar have that Helena doesn't to
her
him?
own mind, I guess, um, thinking for herself, fighting for what she believes. She's not seeking anybody else's approval. And I think that he did that to his daughter, Helena. He made her into somebody that was like that because he was very stern with her.
Yeah.
And very unloving towards her. Like you turned your daughter into somebody that was like this. And now you're mad at her for becoming someone that now you don't like.
Yeah. I mean, he ain't rational either.
Oh no, he's very
Man, name
irrational.
is James. Ain't nothing rational about James. What the hell?
His name alone gets me upset at this point. At this point, just his name bothers me. I don't know about y'all. That bothers me in itself. So Mark said the next time I wake up, it better be at the office. And apparently they said, well, fine then. And so the next time we see Mark S., he's at work with a new mural painted on the wall. If Lumon ain't gonna do nothing else, they gonna gaslight your ass real good.
Yeah.
Because
They
what
got
was this
Miss
supposed to
Casey.
do?
They got Miss Casey in the painting. Y'all ain't seen her in months.
And she in the paint.
Yeah.
Celebrating the fact that you spent your entire career 2 years torturing this poor woman, and now we're gonna celebrate you for torturing all 25 versions of her.
Yeah.
As you did not know that this was your wife and she's still alive. Ladies and gentlemen, if you did not know what the definition of gaslighting is before, just know that this is what that is. It's incredibly what it is. And it's like they feel like they can do that because the innies are so innocent, they don't even know any better.
They don't. You heard that whole conversation about the equator?
Mm-hmm.
It's so naive. Like, I mean, you can't blame them, but still, it's funny seeing very able-minded adults just be so out of the loop. Because they only exist 8 hours a day, 5 days a week.
And that's it. Like they know nothing else beyond that, except that, oh, this just gonna be one of those good days at work, one of them celebration days. And but we still need you to do this work before the celebration. This is, when you go to work on that one day and they say, hey, if we meet our sales goals or something, or we meet this certain amount in the budget, or we do good, or everybody does good when the regional directors arrive, then, after work, we're going to give y'all a pizza party.
Yeah.
or we got a morning come calling our extra 30 minutes early for work, but we're going to feed y'all breakfast. Go team.
I've
It's lit.
had the breakfast one. I've never had the pizza party.
I done had all of the things, all of the ways that corporate can possibly gaslight you into thinking that they actually care about you, but show you in the most minimalistic way. I've had all that. I've had all that. In fact, this is a badge from one of my previous jobs. They sent us like a whole little package. I still got it right here. Um, I was teaching online. Um, But they sent us all this right before they cut off all the American teachers.
The severance package.
But they didn't tell us this though.
That's hilarious.
Give y'all a nice little cute badge and like a pen and notebook and some buttons and some stickers, like to show you how much we appreciate you. Oh, and one of my jobs that I have right now, because I do therapy online, They sent out an email about like sign into our corporate Grubhub for your company perks. Where I didn't get anything though. Like I just have an account.
What the
Y'all
fuck?
didn't pay for me to get any food. I was just like, what am I logging in for? Like, are y'all like, is like lunch on y'all or no, it wasn't. It wasn't. Hmm.
Well, luckily, I've never had the corporate experience, so to speak.
Maybe the field of science is different, but
Mine has always been government. Government don't well, not so much right now.
I
Not so
bet
much
not.
right now, but yeah, I won't
I
say
bet.
nothing about that.
Bet not. So we were wondering last episode if uh, Audi Dylan was going to let any Dylan quit his job, and he was like, "Nah." He was like, "If you really, really don't want to be there, then you don't have to be." But I'm saying like, I still need you to go to work because I can't keep a job, bruh.
He pretty much did say like, "You the man that I'm trying to be, but I ain't quite there yet. So I need your ass to go to work." But
Exactly.
if you want to leave, you can leave. He ain't gonna make them stay there, so that's fair.
But like letting you know though, if you don't like that wife and kids that you like, you want to be around, you want to get to know this family, we ain't gonna have no money, dog. Okay. So what you trying to do? Like you want to help us pay these bills or not? I mean,
Pretty
that's a hell of a
much.
decision to make for somebody to kind of put that on them. But you know, I think the way any Dylan is seeing it is like, even though Gretchen says she ain't gonna try to come back and holler at me no more. But Audi me, they need this for their family. And in good faith, he might say, you know what, fine.
Yeah, I know. I felt like they had a bro moment. I mean, it's hard to talk to yourself. There was another talk to yourself moment,
Yeah, it was. It was. Mm-hmm.
but I mean, it was. I can I can see how it motivated Dylan to do what he did. You know, later on in the show, he he found his confidence again because I mean he was shattered after the whole Gretchen thing, but just not having a life
It was.
was
Mm-hmm.
was his biggest thing. But yeah, I can kind of see that. Like, yeah, I don't directly have a life, but my life does impact the outside world. You know, especially with this dude
Mm-hmm.
being able to hold down a job. So, so yeah, I dig that.
They had Seth on the run this episode.
Bruh,
But that's his
he
fault. He the
turned
one
around.
sent. He the one sent Sue Young packing early. You should have. You would have kept her throughout her term. She could have been there to do some of the legwork. But you were
Uh,
so ready to get rid of her little ass.
bruh, when he
Now you
turned
ready to
around
go.
and started running,
Put him at a time restraint here. Um, so they're
so
working. She's standing over his shoulder as he's done with her in scenes before, like trying to be there to help her get through her assignments. And they kind of feeding each other this information back and forth, like, "Hey, I know what this is for," and she kind of being in agreement with, "I okay, I get it," because at the end of the day, the goal was to go and save Miss Casey, and so, like, I'm like, it's fine. This was the original plan. Let's roll with it. Like, here's the, you know, the what was it, the little map and everything. So let's go ahead and get this completed. This the little map. This is what we're gonna do.
Yeah, I felt like she was sending mixed signals because on one hand she did, like the whole entire time she was there from her very first episode, she wanted to leave. And like now that they can leave, this is a way to shut everything down. She has this apprehension because she wants to stay with Mark. So like it came kind of like full circle for her, kind of sort of. But she's giving Mark these, I'm Helena out there. There can't be a us. We have to do this thing to save this woman. But at the same time, they're talking about lovey-dovey shit while they're doing it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you kind of send the mixed signals. Because Mark trying to make a decision, man, to like erase you and there's no more us and get the job done, or to stay here with you and somehow make something happen. This whole, she said she wanted more time after the whole pep talk about we gotta save Miss Casey. It's like, yo, stop giving this man mixed signals.
Is he already confused and y'all ain't got but a little bit of time?
Exactly. Like no time for this bullshit, pretty much.
But see, I had a theory, but I'm gonna save my theory because I'm gonna come back to this. I got a theory, y'all, but I'm gonna hold it to the end. So before we get into the celebration, y'all, they got a whole department dedicated to entertainment and celebration. We're going to do our own little music dance experience. So right now, I want to say thank you to all the channel members. Thank you to all the new subscribers that has came onto the channel since watching Severance. Thank you for all the subscribers and everybody who has supported us in going through all 10 episodes of Severance Season 2. If you are not a channel member, please consider joining. There's content that's only available within the channel membership. And again, make sure you hit that thumbs up and the subscribe button. Enjoy your hard-earned music dance experience. Shout out to Mr. Milchek.
You're so fat.
Y'all job ain't never threw a parade?
Not nothing like that. Well, maybe, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I worked for a school before.
Mhm.
I worked for a school before, so yeah, sure, if that counts.
It's like we're going to throw you a party because you've completed the last file that we needed to torture your wife one last time.
Yeah, it's wild how they try to give them some like semblance of a life down there with celebrations for goals met and stuff like that. But I don't know, it's all so fake.
Because they don't even know what they did.
They don't. Well, they're not supposed to know, but that
Yeah.
means they know, which
It's like,
makes
yeah, they know
it
because they had
time
to find
worse.
out, in secrecy, but like
Yeah.
outside of what they were told, didn't even y'all celebrating and y'all didn't even know what y'all did this whole time. Like they literally didn't know what they were doing on those computers the
And
whole
what
time.
was the last waffle party for? Because Dylan got that. So yeah, I don't know. It's kind of creepy though. They try to give them like just different aspects of life, ups and downs down there within that 8 hour period of being on the shift.
Shout out to everybody who celebrated the show and had their own little at-home waffle party. I seen in some of the like Facebook groups. I'm pretty sure people in Discord, had like little waffle party celebrations and stuff like that. In honor of the season finale or watch parties for the season finale. I've never had a waffle party, but we had uh like taco bars.
Oh my god, we worked in some places.
telling you, tell you, this show has triggered me in ways that y'all don't understand. Because I have definitely been there with all of the gaslighting and all of the we're gonna act like we really care to celebrate you all and stuff like that. I've been through it. So Seth said we gonna bring in the celebration department and throw y'all a little party. And Seth, you really was turned. Hmm.
Yeah, he first thought he was in his feelings with the little mannequin and his jokes.
We gonna hit the so little tidbit with that. I want to know, do y'all think that that was the consciousness of Kier in that mannequin? Based on the title from the episode previously, episode
The
9, that
joke,
was named after the
the
Twilight
Twilight
Zone
Zone.
episode where the mannequins were actually like come to life. Was that the consciousness of Kier? Because when Seth, when he, threw some shade back at him, he hit that pause. Like,
Yeah, he said he was what 5 inches taller,
six,
shorter.
yep, that the mannequin was like 6 inches taller than him, and
God damn.
it's like we went off script for a second, like, ooh.
Yeah. Yeah, Seth don't like nobody coming for his vocabulary, man. You talk
And
about the way he talks, the way he speaks. He got something for your ass.
so I feel like that might have been the consciousness of Kieran there, and not just the recording, because the way he hit that pause button, like, hold on, and then it wasn't no Mr. Milchick after that. He was just like, okay, Seth.
Yeah, he's like, all right, Seth. Gotcha, Seth.
Doing too much. Drop in the comments if y'all think that Kier's consciousness is in that mannequin. That's what I'm thinking. Okay. So we finally go and see what Cold Harbor is. And y'all, when it hit me, because it took me a minute, because sometimes my ADHD had me all over the place. When it hit me, I said, "Oh, wait a minute. The last test was to see if her trauma from the miscarriage bled over any into the consciousness. So to have this woman in the clothes that they took her in, and to tell her to disassemble a baby crib and watch her while she does it. I said, well, this is unusually cruel and unusual. That's cruel because think about the real Gemma if the barrier wouldn't wasn't holding as well as they thought it was. That would be very traumatic to have on this set of clothes that I got in a car accident with, and y'all want me to take down the same crib that Mark took down.
Yeah, when I saw that, I started leaning towards your theory a little more about ridding the people of like all trauma and whatnot, and like there being a barrier there that like they know that there's some bleed over, or at least there was some bleed over, like when it comes to like persona and shared experience. And that whole Cold Harbor thing, well, leading up to it was to rid the severed from having any type of bearing on the original consciousness. And yeah, that's a wild premise for one. Like that's crazy. But at the same time, I'm guessing like it's so secretive because they're using human test subjects, and that's the issue. But like, I don't know. I guess that's big enough for there to be a whole conspiracy around it. But because I was just thinking like, what's the driving force to hide this so deeply? But yeah, the fact that it is a human test subject does make sense. Depending on how the rest of the world feels, we don't have a good enough feel for the rest of the world yet.
And it's like you have to sell them on something good because they're hiding it because at the same time you may not be experiencing this trauma, but somebody else is.
Yeah,
You're
and that's
you're taking away from you, but you're splitting off into somebody else who has to take the grunt for you. So it's not disappearing. It's not going anywhere.
and they also know that like they're openly lying about the experience of the
Right.
innies. So they know that. There's just no care. I mean that they have no respect at all for the severed consciousness.
Correct. And that's where like the problem comes in. Just a little Easter egg here. The person that is the voice on this computer that Jane is sitting at is none other than director and actor Ben Stiller. That's his voice there. And also, speaking of voices, if you all did not know, and I'm not sure if we said it or not, I want to say that it was episode 1 or 2, one of the first 2 episodes, when they did that whole little video. It was probably episode 2. They did the whole little video of the MDR rebellion. That the voice that was in the video that they were watching, that was Keanu Reeves.
Hilarious.
I told y'all they was using them goats for sacrifices because they ain't said nothing but a bunch of devilish people. And you always need, it's always got to be a damn goat somewhere. And so they had Brienne of Tarth come in there with her goat. And
Really?
she didn't want to do it. She was tired of it. Because
She was
apparently
definitely tired of it.
we know at this point, we knew that that was not the first one, that there had to be a lot. So they're basically created a whole department to raise the best of goats, only to have their life ended through a sacrifice. And she's just like, "This is this all my to get close to these animals, and then you want me to pull the trigger?" I'm so sick of.
Yeah.
I was so sick of Drummond and his little ass wig. His little stiff bob.
Yo, Drummond had hands though.
Did he have hands, or did Mark S just not know how to fight?
Oh my God, Mark S was the worst. He was the worst. First off, well, I guess he followed the map, you know, correctly enough, but he seemed to get lost a couple of times. And then he's kicking to open this door. Like, a lot of things had to happen just right for him to get down there. Like, he had to have that knockdown, drag out fight to get down there. Especially with the having the blood soaked tie and whatnot. But yeah, this whole scene was just crazy to me. It kind of like mirrored it with preparing Gemma for the Cold Harbor entry. So this was going on like at the same time. So it's like I think he said they need like the best of the best to of goats to escort the souls of a magnificent woman or whatever to cure some shit like that. Yeah. And then they had the little mural with the severed head individual and the goat and I am leaning more towards cult too, but like, damn, what's the grand scheme of that? You have a cult creating people who don't experience trauma.
Makes them more influential. Because as long as they have all of these severed innies, you can tell them anything.
You can't tell
And
anything.
because they don't have any other outside influence to know anything else. So there's that. And then they realize,
what you call it? What was she on Game of Thrones? She was being dude ass.
Yeah, if see that's that was that Game of Thrones training. Okay,
That's
before she was Lauren, that was Brienne and Tar. Okay, that was Sir Brienne that came in there, because if Sir Brienne didn't pop up, yeah, Mark would have got that. Mark would have got that work real hard. Okay, he was getting drugged all up and through them damn white ass walls.
Yeah, he was.
I don't know where she. Maybe she was just sacrificing them goats, but
she was tired of that shit. She was definitely tired of that.
Mark S better be thankful. Okay.
Then he shot Buddy on the way down.
But that was because of the severed chip.
Yeah.
And so like the twitch that they happen sometimes is what like, and no more drumming in his little stiff ass wig. And we make it to Cold Harbor. And this is how they know that it isn't 100%, because whoever version of Annie was in there, whatever version of Gemma was in that room, when Mark came in there, she ain't never seen that man. He is blood stained and disheveled, breathing all hard. And he's like, come with me. And she just all, okay. And they're like, the hell?
She hesitated for a moment, but she was definitely not feeling that disembodied voice telling her to don't touch him, stay away from him.
Like, she trusted this version of a person she's never met before. And when like it barely took a whole lot of convincing. Like, she didn't sit there and say, well, why and how come and what is all this blood from and what is going on, or no, you're going to explain to me and I'm not going with you anywhere. She was just literally like, something about this guy that tells me I need to go with him.
Yeah.
And that was enough to say that, because in any other circumstances, a person in their right mind, sir, if you look like you just
killed somebody,
committed mass murder through the city, I'm not going nowhere with you, friend. I'm not. It looks more safer in here. But it was something about it that said, this is a safe place and somebody who cares about me. And that was all they needed to know, that the barrier wasn't 100%, was him coming in there. And that's what they kind of got upset with. So he went and got his girl out. And I was so happy when she like walked through and saw he was still there. Because remember, the doctor told her, "Oh, he gone. He got him a new woman. He got my daughter and everything. Like they good. He ain't saying you." And so to see him after 2 years, too, that he's the one that came and got her was just like, a moment of she felt like she believed and it paid off. Like she always believed that she would see him again. Even if Dr. Freak Nasty was telling her a different story.
Yeah, that nigga was wild. He's slow too. He has no wheels. That was when they was running away from him. Bro was terribly slow.
He wasn't even close to catching up.
Not at all.
Your boy wasn't even close.
But it was crazy when they was kissing on the elevator and they switched to Miss Casey and Mark S.
He was he was trying to run. He didn't make it. He didn't quite make it. And now we make it to the end of the episode here. And I think Mark S made an executive decision here when he said, "All right, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to keep up half of the end of my deal. And I'm going to let Gemma out. So I did that part. I got her out of here. She's out the door. She's pretty much home. She can walk out of Lumon now. But me, because y'all said the goal really was to save Gemma, right? That was the goal. End goal, save Gemma. Got you. And then this heifer come down the damn hall.
With her mixed signals that she been sending the whole time.
And when I see her, I said, this is Helena.
You think so?
Remember, they have the glass globe block.
Yeah, I know, but
so that puts up a block so that it doesn't matter where she is in the severed building, she could still be her as long as they had that block in place. Because the way that she did that little smirk looking back at her, I said, Helly wouldn't do that.
She did go back at it. I noticed that.
Helly wouldn't do that. I said, this is Helena. Because where y'all running?
Yeah, like what's the plan?
Where y'all going?
Where y'all going? Yeah, exactly. That's my biggest thing. Where y'all going and how Gemma get home? Like what is she? She can go walk home, she go run home, like somebody there to pick her up.
I know y'all ain't tell us if Cobell or Devin was gonna be waiting for her on the outside.
Exactly.
And she could just go on and leave. But see, Helly running with Mark wouldn't have a plan. Cause where are y'all going? But Helena would know how to get out and have a plan to go somewhere.
Sure. I see your theory. I don't have a theory. I'm not saying yours is wrong. I just don't have one. But yeah, sure. It's a good theory.
I'm just saying. Helena would be the one to like look at her like but I win still. And because remember, this whole time, Helena knew Gemma was alive the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
So she knew she had slept with that lady's man consciously. She knew. So that was one more like slap in the face to her because I knew this. I knew we were playing this game the whole time and he still chose me, which he didn't because Mark don't give a damn about you. Mark S did.
Yeah.
Mark S didn't even choose you, Helena. He chose Helly. Mark S don't like Helena. Mark don't like Helena. James don't like Helena. Nobody likes you. Okay. You look dusty and your hair is uneven.
Yeah, she's problematic. She's very problematic. I don't
So
know.
I feel like
I'm curious to see because this season finale feels very finale. Feels very final. You know what I'm saying? Like, where y'all going with this? Like, what's the next step in this? Because a lot just happened.
I feel like we still have a little bit left. I feel like one season will wrap everything up because I feel like Miss Cobell still got a bone to pick with them. I feel like uh, Helena is pregnant. I still want to know if Mark the whole time was working on Miss Casey, what was the rest of MDR doing?
Yeah,
What was y'all doing? I want to know still who was Irving talking to on the phone.
yeah.
Are we going to see Ragabi again? Is Mark ever going to want to reintegrate? Where are these two go? Where is Helena leading him at this point? Because see, she got a Glasgow block in, but he don't. And is she gonna lead him to that Glasgow block as well?
Shouldn't Mark still be reintegrating though? Like, shouldn't he still be having symptoms from that?
He will probably still be having symptoms and flashes though. And I think that is going to be a problem because he only halfway through the process. And I want to see where that takes us because if he's still having these things, he's going to want to do something to stop the flashing between. Because he's not going to fully have his life if he keeps getting these flashes and nosebleeds. Because we still don't know what that's going to do to his health afterwards. Like we don't really know what's going to happen at this point. Um, Mr. Drummond is gone. Mr. Milchek just, let them ruin the whole celebration. He let Marcus Skate ruin Cole Harbor. He's probably gonna get fired after this, which means they're probably gonna want Cobell to come back. So there's still some unanswered questions after this. So I
Yeah,
think we still got a little left to wrap up.
I don't think Cobell's ever gonna come back because she's kind of afraid of them. Like they'll
Oh,
make you disappear.
I think she's mad enough that she would still approach them. I don't think she's scared of them like that though.
Well, I mean, you remember I forgot what episode it was, but she was talking to Helena in the parking lot, and her driver was there. Helena's
Hmm.
driver was there, and she looked at the driver
I
and like
think
just focused on him. I was like, yo, they got drivers, just like Bert's a driver. Like, yeah, I
but I
felt
still feel like she
like
has
right.
like I still feel like there's a vendetta against them though that maybe she hadn't taken action yet because it was just her. But if she can get some other people on her side, she would feel emboldened enough to take action against them because we still have some things that we don't know. We still don't know what time period it is. Because why
Yeah,
Devin car look better than everybody else's?
yeah. The world building is purposefully lacking because it adds to the mystery. Like
I,
that's kind of part of it. But
I still want to know.
yeah, I still want to know.
But y'all drop down in the comments, give us your opinions of season 2 of Severance. Do you think there will be a season 3? And what questions do you still have that are unanswered? We appreciate everybody for joining us this whole of season 2 of Severance during all of these reviews. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button, turn on your notification bell. Thank you all for joining us. And I want to leave you all again with the music dance experience as this is our season finale. So enjoy your MDE, and we will see you all for Daredevil Born Again later on this week.